Today, we are going to talk about James Babeque of Port-au-Prince, Haiti. You know, if it was in Kenya, they say that James Babeque is a former police officer. If it was in Kenya, some APs would have come to arrest me because I'm James and a former police officer. When I'm a suspect. Well, he's one of the leading gangsters in Port-au-Prince in Haiti. And to talk about him. If you scroll down in my earlier videos, you'll see I had already talked about the people I had recommended to go to Haiti. People were worried, saying that how can we take that fellow na kitambi chake, that who is a traffic police officer kwa ile, so you know that kakona there. I said no. A word came from police headquarters that the number of police officers wanted in Haiti is equivalent to all police stations in Kenya. So each and every police station would forward a name of one person. I said no. But actually, it later came out that they were playing to the gallery. It is that they thought the same way I had thought. You see, having worked in the system, it is easy for you to know what is best for the system. I had said that the paramilitary wing of the police should be taken there. That is the GSU, anti-stock theft, rapid deployment unit, and so on and so forth. I had also said they should not take their elderly people. They should not take their anybody unless that person is in the command section. Because the OCS Haiti, you don't expect him to be somebody who just came out of GSU training school the other day. The OCPD and so on. So, at the command level, it is okay if they take some elderly, but not very elderly. You remember the chief inspector who went to Haiti, and as he was coming back, he died in a hotel, I think. Was it in London or New York? When I saw him, I said, yes, we need such active young senior officers. And so far, they have not disappointed me. Now this man, my namesake, although I'm not Babeque, he's the one we are out to talk about. First of all, in any informal security setup, the bandits, let me call them the bandits, do give themselves names and ranks that are not consummate with them. If you can remember very well, General Opande was annoyed with this young boy, and he took out the ranks of that young boy in Sierra Leone and was asking him, who gave you the rank of brigadier? How many battalions have you headed and such and such a thing? This is a good example of where bandits just give themselves ranks. When he gives himself a rank of brigadier or a general or anything, when he gives himself such ranks or such appointments, he wants to be feared the way military people fear brigadiers. He wants people to fear him the way the name suggests. Now, for my namesake, he took the name Babeque. it is possible two ways. Either when he gets somebody, instead of killing that person in one bullet, he places that person on fire, like nyama choma, barbecue. Maybe he does that, or he wants to to scare people to such an extent that people think that once he gets you, he'll barbecue you. So the name mostly is to make fear. Now, for a and I'm happy. I'm happy the government did exactly what I was thinking, without me, of course, inputting there. Why did they need to place their RDU, GSU, stock theft, and so on, and border patrol? If you look, all these organizations, GSU, stock theft, RDU, all of them are just the same. The training is the same, and even BPU, Border Patrol Unit. Their training is the same, their work is the same, and whatever. The only slight difference is, for example, stock theft, which in a very few years to come, it will not be there, because it is only in North Rift that we are hearing of cattle being stolen. Very soon, everybody will move away from herding so many cattle. Stock theft are paramilitary who specializes in issues to do with cattle rustling. BPU is Border Patrol. It's just the same, but they patrol the borders of Kenya. They are stationed huku na huku na huku na huku. That is Border Patrol. But they're just the same. In fact, you can, if you transfer somebody, cross transfer, take one from this and take one from the other, and they exchange, the person will just continue the work. No further training, no nothing. Then we come to Rapid Deployment Unit and GSU. You know, we have people, we have somebody like Shadrach Kiruki, not Shadrach Kiruki, Shadrach Muya. We have people like Governor Kinuthia. We have people like McGoy, George McGoy, and so on. These are the people who modernized AP. But then they felt that they should also have their own GSU. So they started their own GSU, which in the Kenya Police Service, it's called General Service Unit. But then the GSU of the AP one was now called Rapid Deployment Unit. I hope and wish one day all these units are joined together. I know there is ego fights, but then we can even start a third service where we have AP, general duties, and then the paramilitary police, so that RDU and GSU and all this join together. These are the people who are very, you know, niseme nisiseme. If you are to talk to, for example, you go to the nearest bank to you, you'll get an AP with a firearm. Every day he has a firearm. Every day he has a firearm. Now compare him to, let's say, another AP in Border Patrol. You'd find the one at the Border Patrol has fired and has even executed work using, that is what I'm trying to say. He has killed bandits using the gun. But if you go to that AP at the bank and ask him, have you ever fired at a target that can fire you back? If he has to tell you the truth, then a good number would say, over 5 years, I've never come into contact with fire. So those are the people who are taken there. And when they were taken there, I would guess, a professional guess, is that their work was not their mandate from the time they arrive to the time they will leave. I don't expect them to be at the report office. I don't expect them to visit scenes of crime. I don't expect them to open files and whatever. But I expect them to be patrolling. They are capable. There's also that language is problem. They are capable of making sure that the capital, nobody walks in the capital without firearms. So, and my namesake, James Babeque, I'm very sure he knows that. So, with the people who have firearms not walking on the street, a firearm in the house where nobody knows you have a firearm, it's better that you don't have a firearm. And you see, James Babeque knows that when he spreads fear to the population, that is when he gets respect and he can command his thugs. But now he becomes like them. He hides and whatever. If he's going, okay, he is known. But if he's going to walk and whatever, he's careful and whatever. And even him being known, if he's moving from Kawangware to Kangemi, they surveil on, they mount surveillance on him. So he is powerless. That is why when Kenya said they're taking their police officers there, he started giving out threats. He was saying that any person who is not a Haitian or a Haitian, that person should be considered an invader. Now they have gone. And imagine, they have gone 400. 600 bado wanakuja. He has changed his topic. Let us sit down and discuss. He's saying that my former headmaster from 5 from 6, Mr. Nazo, used to say, make hay while the sun still shines. He knows that today he can say something, but in 3 months down the line, he will be as more useless on the road than his namesake here, me. So he's trying to make hay while the sun is still there by trying to say, hey, let us talk. When they talk, there'll be a national, if he's allowed on the table, and that is the mistake. If he's allowed on the table, then he will be part of the cabinet that will run that country. So I would advise them not to include him. Lastly, when I want to finish now, I want to tell the Kenyan police officers in Haiti, a retreating, defeated, demoralized enemy is more dangerous than a bold one who comes to you. Expect your barracks to be bombed by suicide bombers. Expect these people to lead you into traps. When they are withdrawing, that is when they are most dangerous than when they are advancing. When they are leaving their places and going away, they can plant IEDs. They can do whatever. An enemy, you can only listen to an enemy on 2 occasions. When he's dead, of course, you can't listen to him. Or when he is in committee, not committee medium prison, no. Committee maximum. For those of you who have never been to committee, you see, those who are in medium prison are taken to be people wako uhuru. But those who are they treat those in maximum as those who are in prison, and those who are in maximum treat those who are in medium as nyinyi muko Kenya huru. So people like Babeque, they can only be safe and you can listen to them when they are behind bars or in exile. But in exile, they are still dangerous. They are still dangerous. Lastly, I want to tell people, you have heard me telling police officers that about barracks. Langata barracks, Kenyatta barracks, Moi Barracks. Barracks is the Askari name for dormitories. Dormitory. You remember when they are being taken there was a delay because their dormitories had not been made. So we expect, and you expect the barracks to be targeted. And also, these people, you see they are few and whatever. What they do is, if they get one police, just one, they get one, and they know the powers of social media, they'll torture him in such a way that they'll be sending messages to the other 999 Kenyan police officers, their families in Kenya, and all of us who are in the social media. Remember what Japhet Koome has said? Bunduki sio mwika, tutanirushia mawe unigonge uniumize na nikatae nitakutumikia. So just understand that those police officers have gone there. They even a police officer walking around Harambee Street is in danger, because any person who works for the police has signed his or her own death certificate. But mfuko wako sasa, because they are continuing with the Kenyan salary, they are continuing with the Kenyan allowances. Where police officers die. When we had floods the other day, there is this police officer who was swept away, isn't it? Police die. So polisi akikufa Haiti, polisi wanakufia Haiti. No. Police die. I can tell you about 20, kina Charles Kimani, kina Koigi, kina nani. Those are colleagues who died. And you see a police officer dying in Kenya on duty, there is that compensation and so on that list. Now, when he's working for the UN or the US, in this guy, I think this time he's working for the US, he is paid, if he's a corporal, he's paid the salary of a US corporal. If he is hurt or dies, the US system pays him. And I can tell you, yesterday we heard about the Boeing, where several Kenyans died in Boeing, isn't it? They were paid that each dead person, Boeing paid that 1 million. In Kenya, you die in a road accident, you are paid 1 million. Death is there. But then let me tell you, I'd rather my son dies in Haiti than my son dies in Hulugo, Modogashi, and Al-Shabaab, or even Boni Forest. Thank you.